Hello everyone, this is episode 138 of Double Cross Anime. Today we do the double features, two movies from 2020, but actually coming out in the DVD just coming out like a few weeks ago, so we decided to pick them up. They are Omoi, Omoware, Furi, Furare, or Love Me Not in English. And the other one is Umibe no Étranger.
The Stranger by the Shore.
And then we will cover like the next five episodes of Touch, 11 to 15.
Right.
I do think this is a short postcard today because
Because I'd only watched half of one of the films because it was so distasteful to me.
Alright. Should we go to that one then?
Sure, we can start with some controversy or,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
whatever word you want to use. That would be Omoi, Omoware, Furi, Furare.
Yep.
And I don't really like the title Love Me Not because it omits the Furi, Furare, leave, be left.
Because you left early.
Yeah, I like the full title because it makes it sound more kind of artsy and independent in spirit. But this film was not that at all. This was a by-the-numbers shoujo manga adaptation from the 50 minutes that I saw, the first half of the film that I saw. Like, I mean, we'll get into my issues with it as we go, but I just thought it was very plain.
It is a bit plain. I think going into it, I expect it to be like on the same vein as Let Me Eat Your Pancreas, the one that I think I also believe that we have watched before.
Not for
on the list.
We didn't do that for the podcast. No.
Right.
But we've both seen it, and I get what you're saying. Like it's based. Well, Pancreas. Was that a light novel?
It is actually a light novel, yes.
But they are both, like kind of sappy, or at least very dramatic romance works.
I actually was thinking that the only difference between Pancreas and this one is less melodramatic.
Yeah, but it's also
Still.
This one is also less dramatic. Period. Like none of the drama, at least none of the drama that I bore witness to, was very interesting at all. Like there was a plot about a girl working at McDonald's, and rumors spreading about her that she was flirting with another girl's boyfriend who worked there. But it turns out that wasn't true, and then her friend felt guilty about believing those rumors about a girl who works at McDonald's and was flirting with a coworker. Like, who gives a shit?
Well, I think like for the high school girl, these things are really important.
Yeah, so, I suppose that those are matters of life and death for millions of teenagers. But
all right,
the filmmaker has a responsibility to make it interesting, believable, engaging, something.
All right. Just let me ask at which point that you prop.
The halfway point. So what was the last thing that I saw that happens? Rio, has a conversation with Yuna about how he's gotten over his attraction to his stepsister, I think.
Right.
And how from now on he's gonna I don't know, just not find his stepsister hot anymore. That was.
All right. Is that like under the bridge, on the rain?
They do have a conversation under the bridge in the rain. Like that's when she confesses to him, and the field of flowers kind of blooms, metaphorically, and then when he rejects her, it goes back to raining again. But no, the scene that I'm talking about is after that, after he's kissed his stepsister, and she's like, "Ew, you're gross," and then he's moping around on a bench in a park or something. And Yuna confronts him and says, "Do you think you're the only one who's suffering?" And then he's like, "Wow, you're right. I'm not gonna think that my really cute stepsister is cute anymore, and I'm just gonna be normal from now on."
All right. I would just say that this is the type that appeal to certain demographic, and we can certainly say that we are not in those, so that's why we don't really feel like all these dramatic moments that much.
Uh, I don't agree. Like this kind of material I can watch and I can get into. I just didn't in
Mm-hmm.
this film because I thought it was like a turd. Like I thought I Want to Eat Your Pancreas was pretty good. I mean, I didn't go nuts for it or anything, but I thought it was like a good little tearjerker type of movie. The scene
Mm-hmm.
where the male and female lead, like they're in a hotel or something and they're playing cards, uh, and there's like tension between the two of them. I thought, oh yeah, I can watch this. I can go along with this. This is
Mm-hmm.
kind of fun. This is kind of cute. This
Yep.
film just made me really hate being an anime fan.
Right. All right. I gonna give you my impression on this.
All right.
I think this is like one of the more yeah, familiar films that we have watched. So this is more appeal to the like to the young, to the
The shoujo manga readers
female.
of the world.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's a four-way romance. It's not even like a triangle. It's not even two-way. It's like full or four ways where like the four main character just like love having a romantic tension with one another.
Hmm.
Basically, I think it's just Rio and Kazumi are not in that length, but like every others, they are they're having some sort of romantic things going on. In so and even like the characters, they think about love. Like I think like at first Yuna and Akari talk about like how they have a different personality. They have different approach to a different thing to approach when it comes to romance,
Right.
thing like that.
Yep.
And yeah, I can sort of appreciate that. Like like each person have like different approach. I'm okay with that. But the way that you not think about her romance is like um it had to be a prince.
It's like the
It's
first scene in Utena, except not subverted.
Yep, right. And actually, like I watched the whole thing, and she hasn't been proven wrong. She actually end up. So like spoilers. I think you are okay with that
I'm
spoilers.
sure that she
Uh,
ends up with Rio, and Akari
yep.
ends up with the black-haired guy.
Yep. That's right. They end up together, and like it's predictable. Like we all know how it goes. They even though they like really push on the drama aspect, it still like still treat familiar path for me.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel the relationship between Rio and Akari is a bit more interesting because they are like some little twist in that,
That they're
and
step siblings.
how they are stepsips. Yep, they are not blood related. I don't want another Koikaze here. Um, but actually, we can guess from that before based on their color of the hairs. They have different color hairs, and that's like the big the big thing in anime.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there are a lot of Japanese people who dye their hair.
Yep, but yep. Yep. So this the the thing that I like about this that relationship is that Rio and Akari have a different approach in that as well. Rio he's still hanging on that
Yeah.
on the romance. He still feel the like the attraction from Akari, and he feel bad that he like he doesn't have a chance to um uh
Get with his
to
stepsister.
to confess his love to Akari, and Akari she just treated like like them as a sibling to so that they are not feeling awkward at all. So I can feel those. It just like after the result they just like become like they are no more conflict whatsoever is what a bit irked me.
Yeah, and I mean, I could have predicted that would happen, that there would be a clean break, and Rio would start, feeling pulled towards Yuna, because the conversation that they have is so shallow, like the last scene that I saw. And it's really, I don't know, it's weird. Like, shoujo manga authors, even though they're writing like fluffy stuff for largely a young female audience, they're not always predictable. Like, they'll get the girl together with the guy who seems like really terrible and bad for her, or they'll keep the guy, like there'll be two guys introduced at the start, and she has to, who is she going to choose between the two of them? And then 75% of the way through the series, they introduce a new male character, and she ends up with him. Like, it's not necessarily that predictable when you're reading shoujo manga, what the ending will be. But it was, when I was watching this movie, I felt like the director of this film was a quarterback with a fixed neck. Like, you knew exactly where the pass was going every single time. And the scene where Yuna, like, Rio is moping around in the park because he's kissed his stepsister. She wasn't receptive to it. And he's like, oh, man, this sucks. Everything sucks. Yuna convinces him in a matter of 1 minute and like 3 sentences that he should just look on the bright side and get over it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I think I will do that. I think I'm just going to be normal now.
All right. I'm going to defend this young kid in that moment. Actually, what you now want to convey is that Rio have to think more about Akari's feelings, because Akari knows about all this, but she tried to them to have a distance, to respect their their family and stuff. So Rio have to think about that way. I think that's what Yuna message is she trying to convey.
Yeah, and he's so receptive to her message that he's like, oh yeah, you're right. You're right, I do need to do that. And now I will. And we will end up together by the end of this film.
All right, I tell you one more thing that I think will frustrate you. That when Rio kissed Akari, the black-haired dude, Kazuomi, he actually saw that. And that's why when later on when Akari confessed to him, he just said like, no, I don't like you, so that he
was trying to be a good friend to Rio by turning Akari down.
No. So he actually he had a feeling for Akari, but he doesn't want to to bring up hope, because he saw that like these two still have like the romance things going on.
Oh, did he assume that Akari was like into it?
Yeah, until someone say that, so I think until like Rio I talked to him that like it's over between them and something. Okay. And then he said like, yay, I will confess to her. And then they have a date, and then they miss that date, and yeah, a lot of things going on. You miss the whole things.
Well, you. That is a shame. That's a shame that I missed that. Okay, well.
All right. One other thing that I appreciate, I actually feel like this when it comes to romance, in these films, I don't really care one bit for that. But when it comes to like the moment where they talk more about the characters, personality, or when they come to like their circumstances, I'm okay with that. Like I I can feel the way that Akari feel when like her mother just remarried over and over again and still doesn't have like a happy family.
Over and
So
over
we
again. What do you mean? Was she married more
so
than twice?
yeah, she divorced twice. This is the third one.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and even like that third one, she still witnessed many cases, many times where the two the two of them like arguing, fighting.
Right. Like the one
So
girl from
like
Wonder Egg Priority, Rika, I think.
yep, that one, and even like the moment where her mother just come to Rio rooms, like
Yeah, and
afraid
she's
that
like, "Get away
Rio.
from my daughter, you animal!" But it was actually Yuna in there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I actually like that. That one can be a bit dramatic, a bit too obvious, but I actually like that. Like they actually add more to the film, not necessarily romance. So I like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's true that there's a little bit more than a straight up romance being offered here, but honestly, I don't think it's that much more. It is pretty much a love square.
So yeah, I don't think that this is like one of my like top favorite anime films of the year, but it's still watchable for me, and I still don't regret my time watching it.
All right, well, that's good because it doesn't feel good to watch something that is 100
Not
minutes long,
enjoyable.
or even to watch half of something that 100 minutes long and feel like you just need that time back, like you would give
Mhm.
anything to have that time back. That's a bad feeling.
Like
So I'm
like
glad you don't
with
regret it.
yeah, like with Pancreas, I agree with you that it have a better story, it have a better like production than this one.
Oh
But
yeah.
don't know why like for Pancreas, it's some way it still leaves the sour taste on my mouth. This one doesn't.
Well,
This
I
one
I
is
wouldn't say
plain,
that
but it doesn't.
this film didn't leave a sour taste in my mouth. I just hated
Right.
it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as though I kept tasting it and watched it to the end and then discovered that near the end of the film something had happened that kind of like ruined it for me. That wasn't my experience. Very quickly I came to dislike it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just thought it was bad. The subs were bad. That didn't help. Uh,
Is it?
yeah, it
Right.
was. I was reading fan translations for sure. Like for example, some of the early bonding that Yuna and Rio do is over manga, I think, or DVDs. Um, she'll, lend him something, and he'll be like, "Oh, that was so good. I'm so glad that I read that or watched that." And
Mm-hmm.
she would say, for example, "Next time I'll bring the following."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What she should say is, "Next time I'll lend you the sequel," or "Next time I'll lend you the next volume."
Yep.
Next
Yep.
time I'll bring the following you know, makes
No
grammatical
sense.
sense, but it's not how people
Yeah.
talk. And there were many, many such instances in the subs for this film, at least the version that I had. And I don't know if there was even an alternative available on, yeah, maybe there was.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't help. The background art I just thought was really boring looking in contrast to the other film that we watched this week.
Hmm.
Uh,
Agree.
the when she's first making friends, when Yuna is first making friends with Akari in her room, and
Mm-hmm.
she has like a huge bookcase full of shoujo manga, and she starts to get really like she really excitedly says, "Oh, Akari says, I well sometimes I read when I have spare time." Yuna says, "Oh, I read even when I don't have spare time," and she gets up and goes over to her bookcase. The bookcase was literally made in Photoshop, not even drawn by hand and scanned into a computer. It's just, like you can tell that they shift clicked to make the lines, and it's the same exact manga duplicated like 50 times on the shelves, just with different numbers on the spines. And from that was the first red flag I saw, and like from there we were off to the races with a whole bunch of really boring looking and artificial looking environments. And man, I could just go on and on about. Oh, I'll just say one more thing.
Right.
One thing that actually kind of did leave a sour taste in my mouth was this film's like appropriation of kind of like a quirky tone or attitude, I guess. For example, when Yuna first meets Rio and he says "unko," poop.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
That's
yep,
their
yep.
first little encounter, and he's like, "Oh, there's poop on the ground. Don't step in that." And then he walks off.
Yep.
That just seems like such a shallow, clumsy, superficial attempt at like injecting some strangeness into your really dull script. Similarly, when we're in the cultural festival arc and Akari's face is in the cutout of like that's the Scream painting, you know the
Yep,
one?
yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
we that's an establishing shot for a dialogue scene in the classroom. We see her face in the middle of the Scream painting. And then she has it in there for a couple seconds, and then she takes it off. And then it's just left behind. Like it was irrelevant. It didn't matter. It was just a weird, kind of cute, kind of adorkable little inclusion, and then immediately it was dropped, and they went back to just the regular kind of dialogue that you would expect from a scene like that. I just like you can't do that. Who are you gonna trick? Who are you gonna fool into thinking that this is a film with some spirit or some personality to it? It doesn't work.
Right. Right. I'm not gonna argue against that.
This is the worst film we've watched for the podcast, in my opinion. I think you said
All
that
right.
there are others that you don't like as much as this one.
Yep. All right. We can move on to the other one.
Okay.
Stranger on the Shore. I actually like the original title. Unpronounceable as it is. I think it's the Étranger is like from French or something.
Yeah. It just means stranger. And
Right.
umi means sea, so in Japanese. So I guess umibe means shore or beach.
Yep. 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 Yeah. One thing I can say is the background for this one. It's look pretty good. Like it's look colorful. It had a lot of personality in it.
Yeah. Sometimes too much. I felt like some of the shots specifically of all the bushes and trees, like the garden around the cafe, sometimes were very busy and distracting. Maybe they were referenced from photographs and they just duplicated every single detail that they could, and it led to the frame feeling kind of cluttered at times. But there were also some really, really nice shots, like when they went to the mainland so that Shun could ship his script, like next day air, something like that. And then Mio he runs off and does whatever it is he does. And like he'll be like in alleyways, and it'll be. Were they in Tokyo at that point? I don't know exactly.
They are just in the big city. I don't
Yeah.
think it's specifically implied that they are in Tokyo.
Yeah, they're in the big city, and he'll be in an alleyway or walking along a street or something, and it'll be at night. There'll be a little bit of water on the road as though it's just rained, and all like the street lights and the neon signs and the car, like the headlights, will be like, like lighting up the frame in really attractive ways, kind of like Shinkai-esque. Those are really nice. A lot of the shots of the beach at sunset, where Shun and Mio had a lot of their conversations, just looked fabulous. So good, good looking film.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, it's these two main characters that I don't really care about. So you don't care about the four characters in the previous films. I don't really care about the relationship between these two. So I just find myself don't really, like into this story a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that into it either. Um, I thought the film was kind of carried by the way it looked. In fact, I
Mm-hmm.
think like the delicacy and the prettiness of the film kind of enhanced the romance a little bit. Like it kind of
It
it
does.
gave it legs. With that, if this film looked like Omoi Omoware, then I probably would have felt similarly about
Yep.
this one,
Yep.
like I did that one. But I mean, visual design counts for a lot in my book, more and more every day as I watch, you know, stuff that doesn't look very good.
Yep.
I don't have the patience for it.
All right. So I think my first issue with this is that you remember like the prologue. So like Mio he just lost his mother
Yeah,
and he has like nowhere to go. So he just sitting there on that on that chair,
yeah. There's like a bench
looking
that's overlooking the
the
ocean, I
bench.
think.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's like that is my that image alone look really nice.
Yeah,
And then soon he's working in that cafe. Um, he he want to connect to connect to him. I think that that sequence was really nice. The thing is sometimes skip. I think it's like a few years actually, and Mio come back to stay with Shun, and I was like three 4 years we I don't really see that time skip. Like nothing really changed that much.
well, Mio gets taller, and more importantly,
Yeah.
he
Yep.
becomes of legal
Yep.
age, so that we can get a sex scene later. That was important that he be
Yeah. Yeah.
legal.
Yep. Yeah. I feel the disconnection right then, and from then on, it just their chemistry is kind of irk me.
It's kind of what?
It just it just shown out its own way trying to ignore Mio for the reason that I don't really know. And it just kind of reversed, like before that it Shun is the one who pursue it, and Mio is the kind of cold guy who like say unnecessary thing that hurt the others, and then like few years later it's switch.
Yeah. I mean, I think
And
there's pretty clear reasons for both of those things.
really, I don't really see the reason why I should react this way. It just it's just he being a jerk.
Well, the pre-time skip when Mio is rebuffing all of Shun's advances, it's because he's lost his mother and he really doesn't feel like uh, being with anyone in any
Making friends.
capacity.
Yep. Hmm.
So that makes perfect sense to me. Like he's depressed.
Yep.
He's just super
Yep.
sad and does not want to be around anyone or to be with anyone.
Hmm.
Later on, Shun is rejecting Mio because Shun comes from what we can reasonably infer is a pretty conservative family.
Hmm.
And he makes constant references to Mio being better off like with some girl.
Hmm.
And we in the one flashback we see to his dad and his mom like faceless. We only see them from the neck
Hmm.
down. His dad's like, "And now you say you like men? What is
Yep.
this?" And his mom is
Yep.
crying hysterically, like, "Please say it's not true."
Yep.
So it's been ingrained into him that
Hmm.
it's not right for him to be in a relationship with another guy.
Yep.
So he is replicating that attitude whenever Mio gets too close to him. He's getting too close to the happiness that he's not allowing himself to have.
All right. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I go.
the film's still short. So
Yep.
I wrote one of my notes was that the film is low on emotional detail.
Mm.
They like the relationship between the two. It follows a good trajectory, but it's a fast one. So like it's like a gunshot. The bullet leaves the gun,
Yep.
it
Hmm.
travels in a bit of an arc, and then it comes down to earth like really fast.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. I.
it's not like a nice rainbow shape or a really good jump shot in basketball where you have the nice, like really satisfying looking arc. This film is not like that because it's not even an hour long.
Yep. But to be fair, like another show, another boys BL show, about also 1 hour long was pretty good.
You
I
talking about Dokusei?
Yeah, I talking about
Oh yeah,
Dokuses.
Dokusei is definitely a cut above this film.
Yep. Yep. I agree with that.
I
It
don't think this film is bad though. It's interesting to me.
All right.
Especially the sex scene at the end. I haven't sought out a lot of like gay cinema.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this was, I think, the most. Even though you don't see penetration or anything, it's not explicit. But I
Yep.
think this is probably the most intimate portrayal of gay sex that I've ever
Yep.
seen,
All
and it's
right.
not even that intimate. So that was an
Yep.
interesting kind of first time thing for me.
I actually feel that they play up that a bit much. I mean like they explicitly say that like more of like um I feel more of like getting attention more than like showing the relationship between the two, but maybe that's just me.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't have anything to judge it against
Yep. All right.
personally, but I
Uh-huh.
just imagine, just imagine if it were about, I don't know, the characters of Omoi Omoware, and
Mhm.
one of those heterosexual pairs was having a sex scene, and uh, I don't know, one of them wanted to try anal,
Mhm.
and the other one was more experienced or something, and helped them walk through it, something like that.
You're going a bit too detailed. All
It
right.
really is it? I don't think it's too detailed.
All right.
I mean, people
Uh,
have sex like that all the time.
yep. Yep. I think it says something that after this my favorite character actually the girl, e- Ellie.
Sakurako,
All right, Sakura. No, 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 no. Is that Sakurako?
the Ojo-sama character,
No, no, no. Uh, the the other
the
girl, the
girl who
girl
used to
who's
live at the
supposed.
cafe or work at the cafe.
No, 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 no. The girl who's supposed to marry soon.
Yeah, that's Sakurako.
Oh, is it? Sorry, Sakurako. Sorry, Sakurako. Yep, that one. She's become my favorite characters because she actually have a clear purpose. I just feel like most of the time Shun and Mio just, especially Shun, just doesn't really know what he like. Walking around circles.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Like
that's a result of his upbringing. I think
yep,
he
yep,
the reason he's
yep,
so conflicted and so like self-defeating is because of his
hmm
family, especially his father.
yep. All right, I'm not accusing. I'm not. I They have nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't connect to me. So that like Sakurako, she's like she distant to be like the third wheel. She trying her best to like to bring Shun back home to meet his sick dad.
Yeah.
Like she just try to fulfill her role basically.
Yeah.
She's the one having purpose. I like her.
So in a boys love anime, you like the female character.
Yeah, the female third wheel
How
characters.
very straight
So
of
bad.
you.
I love female characters. I love female.
I could take him or leave him. Uh, I mean, I thought she was interesting. I thought it was she played her role well, as somebody
Yep.
who still carried a torch for Shun, but was willing to like put that aside in order to get him to come home and do what he needed to do.
Yep.
You can actually kind of contrast her against Shun in that way because he is pretty selfish over the course of the film, whereas Sakurako operates mostly selflessly, thinking about Shun before herself. And
All right.
I think that's there's something to be said for that.
How do you take on this on the scene where Sakurako demands Shun to kiss her as a goodbye, and Mio jump in?
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
I thought that was weird. Like Mio is the one who kissed the girl, and he actually pretty angry about about that. He's the one who have like all the fun, and then he just like being the victim.
He's the one who has all the fun. I don't think that was fun for him.
He's the one who kissed the girl.
Yeah, but he just did that so that Shun wouldn't do it. It was like a preventative measure. It's not as though he wanted to make out with Sakurako.
That's no excuse.
Well, it was weird, but I didn't think the kiss was that weird. I thought it was supposed to be like, whoa, what a twist. The part that I thought was weird was when he got mad at Shun afterwards for not shutting her down immediately.
Yep.
Like, Shun has already run away from home and in the process rejected his really beautiful fiancée. That's the ultimate rejection. So you don't need to demand that he do it again. That's weird.
Yeah, well, they are couple, like seeing the other half, like kissing someone who have a feeling for him. I can see why he frustrated. I still feel that he overreact on that.
Yeah, me too. I wrote down that I thought it was very weird.
Well, yep. So I think in the topic of boys' love story, I still feel that this one is a decent one. It's not like the classics on the same vein as Dokyose, but it is still serviceable for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, or maybe just good, not pretty good. Or wait, which one of those is better? I don't know. It's okay. It's a decent movie.
It's a good enough. Yep.
Yeah, it's good enough.
If I want to recommend a boy love story, it's maybe this one. Maybe it's not like at the top of my pick, but if eventually going down the line, I think I still recommend it.
But I mean, how much good
like
yaoi anime is there?
Not a lot, and a lot of them made for controversies. I actually think of two that already controversial. Just before like just on based on the material alone. One of them is, oh my god, now I don't remember the name. One of them I think is Hasukoi. It's like one of the most popular boys love story. Something Hasukoi.
I mean, I don't even know that much about boys love. I do know that most of the BL TV series that I've sampled the first episode of have featured like rape or sexual assault as a means of getting the characters together, which is very weird.
Yeah, that is one. So like there will be one of them who actively like pursue in the same manner of assault for me, because I don't really like that. Okay, that one is Sekai Ichi Hasukoi, the world's greatest first love.
The world's greatest first love. Yes.
Yep. And the other one is Super Lovers, the one about the underage boy. So that's why it's controversy.
Something like that. I love, and this is something I didn't mention when we were talking about Omoi Omoware. I like taboo romances. I
All
like
right.
I like stuff about it, like Koikaze. I thought was great. Um,
Yep.
After the Rain, I thought was great.
Right.
And even said, the Ghibli film directed by Goro Miyazaki, From Up on Poppy Hill, I thought was great.
It's not about romance at all.
Hello,
Yep. It's a slice of life.
the two characters who think that they are actually brother and sister, like related by blood, vow
And
to
they,
be together regardless of their
yep, yep,
relational
yep,
status.
yep. I remember that scene, and
And
it's
it's
left me
awesome.
it, it left me a
But
sour taste.
Omoi Omoware,
Yep.
which dips its toes into the pool of step sibling romance, I was totally bored by. So that
Right.
for
Right.
someone like me who is kind of receptive to that sort of thing and sees fiction as a way to like engage with that safely, uh,
Mm-hmm.
for I didn't even like that, So when it comes to Umibe no Itwe, whatever, I'm not going to try to say it in French. Stranger by the Shore, um, this like the fact that they're so conflicted, like both characters are so conflicted about what they're supposed to do about their relationship, and that it's not
Yep.
just a straight up gay romance, but that there are kind of layers to it, and then their characters are kind of like getting in their own way, is interesting to me. Stuff like that is interesting to me, so that kind of
All
drew me
right.
into it a little bit.
All
But
right.
the
One
super
question.
lovers thing, like that's what just sparked my memory. I wouldn't touch that. Like that's somewhere I wouldn't go. Because
All right.
super
All right.
lovers isn't the kid like 13 or something?
Nah. Actually, have you watched an episode of Super Lovers? Because
No,
I was about to say that. Try the first one
no,
because it's no.
nope.
It's it's actually pretty good because I actually watched the first episode and like despite all the controversy surrounding that, I actually feel the first one have a lot of like nuance to it, and because of that first episode, I was willing to watch the whole things. I still haven't gotten into that, but I will some days.
I'm looking at the poster
Uh,
now, and this is not
all
really
right,
inspiring me to keep watching.
because all right, because it's the romance between the like 13, 14 years old boys and that guy who is adult, but it's not the first episode is not really about romance. It's about the uh how they build the relationship.
I see.
So I think it's actually pretty good. I try to convey you to watch another yaoi shows.
Hey, I mean, obviously,
First episodes.
I need some more. I need to bone up. No pun intended. Because I don't know much about it. Like the only BL anime that I've seen that I can say that I liked were this one, Dokyusei and Given.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So there's got to be more good stuff out there beyond just those three.
I actually think that it's gonna be a good topic for us to watch. If you're up to it.
No, but that's the thing though,
Yaois
is that
are
so
Yuri shows.
much of it is like kind of rapey.
Yep.
And I don't feel really
Well.
comfortable saying that because you know,
Yep.
because it's about homosexual relationships. Like I don't like equating those two things, but that's apparently Japan is into
Yep.
making that equation. So
Well, we make the good one, so we
are
choose the
there
good
any?
one.
There must be.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, so Stranger by the Shore. It was decent.
It was decent. I actually it was funny. Like I remember back on few years ago when we do the first impressions. post. There was one season where we I was doing that while I was on the plane, on the flight to somewhere I don't remember. So I have that show just like already downloaded on my iPad and watch it on like on my flight. I would watch it to set the time.
Yeah. And you ended up
This
watching a BL sexual assault scene in public?
that exactly it.
Yep.
That was exactly it. And there was like a guy or like a old woman just behind me, and I was feeling like, oh my god, they would think me, they would think that I am into this kind of stuff.
Well,
but
beyond that, they probably thought you were some sort of predator yourself. Like you were trying to pick up tips.
Jeez. Just to tell you my commitment to like to anime.
All right, well, let that be a lesson to all of you listening to this. Watch your anime, in your room in shame, like the rest of us.
Alrighty, shall we get to touch?
Sure. Episodes 11 to 15. Man, it has been a long time since we've discussed this show.
Yep. I actually miss Touch. I want to watch more often of Touch. This one is I think some of the key point is that Tatsuya almost joined the baseball club, but like at the very last minute decided to go to the boxing club instead.
Well, he doesn't decide
actually
to go to the boxing club.
That's right.
He's
I love
tricked into
Harada.
it.
I love this guy Harada. He actually the only one who can see through Tatsuya conflicts, and he actually the only one who see Tatsuya as Tatsuya. Like all of these other friends who think Tatsuya as the Nisei, the fake Uesugi.
Right. Yeah, Harada, I think, is kind of like the guy who provides commentary from outside the show's universe, almost.
Yep. I just I just love the fact that I think in one of the episodes when Harada's like see all these like Tatsuya expression, Minami expression, and he just like Naruhodo. I see like
Naruhodo.
he did that too many times. It's become very funny.
It's definitely his catchphrase.
Yep.
He's a character.
Yep.
And the appendix thing returned in episode 11. I don't know if you remember that far back, but his appendix actually burst after his history of like making up excuses for his like brutish behavior and his absences from school.
Yep.
His appendix actually did burst, and he got carried away in an ambulance. And I don't know if it was episode 10 or 9, what it was, but there's another like sly reference to that in episode 11, because episode 11 is the first day of high school.
Right.
And he comes back into the classroom late, and the teacher's like, "Where were you?" He says, "My appendix wasn't feeling so great."
Yep. I remember that scenes.
So that's the episode 11 with the first day of high school, where Tatsuya makes up his mind to join the baseball team, which I really liked that he made that decision, and that there was like an external factor that prevented him from joining, which was Minami becoming the manager. And you have to assume that the reason that discouraged him from joining the baseball team was because he has fallen in line with everyone else, basically, and assumes that Minami is meant to be with Kazuya, and he doesn't want to join the baseball team and mess that up. And
that's one thing. I think the other thing is he kind of unhappy about that as well, so he kind of jealous. So we see that like later on in this episode 14 and 15, where like it's the couple of the
best couple award. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And he's obviously upset about that.
Right. Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. That it's not only that he's trying to step out of the way so that Minami can be with Kazuya. It's just hearing that she had joined the baseball team would make him
Yep,
jealous
yep,
because she must, in his mind, she must have joined because she likes Kazuya. And so hearing that, he would probably not want to even be a part of it. Like,
yep.
because
It
every day when he would show up for practice, he would be reminded of the fact that she did that. Like, she just wants to be with Kazuya and wants to go to the Koshien, and I'm just the second fiddle, fake Uesugi, and
it I think it's just his feeling toward Kazuya's like it's really complicated. Like at one point he like on one hand he's know that he's love Kazuya, he want to support Kazuya. But there are always that brotherly rivalry that
yeah,
especially when it comes to Minami, that he he has been suppressed and he just like feel really awkward about that. I just feel that the way the show do that is really complex. It's actually really a lot of layers that upon it.
yeah. Well, I mean, one way you can create those layers is just to set up the
Believe that.
conflict and then have the characters not say anything about it. Just let their
Yeah.
actions speak,
Yes, that's right.
which is what Touch does, and what other series like Cross Game do as well. You just
Yep.
you don't hear what the characters are thinking. You
Yep.
just watch. You can watch what they're thinking essentially.
And yeah, all right. I gonna jump a bit, but towards the end where he slapped Minami,
Episode 15. Yeah.
episode 15, I just feel, oh my god, this is gone. Is it like the entire episode about him slapping her? Like when I read about the title, and I think it just sort of action that like it a bit it is a bit overlooked by the 1980s, but for now, if like if someone like this happen, it will get a lot of heart.
Yeah, you can't make an episode like this now.
Yeah,
Well, maybe you could
but
in Japan, but
maybe.
um,
Yep.
I mean, he hits her, and obviously that's not something you should do to men, women, close
Any,
friends, family members, acquaintances,
anyone.
whatever. Yeah, I mean the
Yep.
real issue at the core of it is physical violence itself.
Yep.
But the fact that they're childhood friends, and that he likes her and that she likes him, I think we can assume by this
Yep.
point, 15 episodes in, that she likes Tatsuya and not
Yep.
Kazuya.
Yep.
That does kind of add some sting to it, that they like each other, but they really can't express it for a multitude of reasons. He hits her. She doesn't take it very well. But I do like some things about the episode. I like that he does not run away after he does it.
Mhm.
He turns and walks away. I like that
Yep.
she does not break down into tears when it happens. She remarks like, "Tachan, like what did you just do?" I think all she says is "Tachan." It's
Yep.
later on she finds a place to be by herself and she cries.
Yep. Yep.
And
It.
I like that he apologizes. I mean, obviously it's something he should do. His
Yep.
apology is not overly sincere, but he does
Yep.
at the end of the episode. What's really nice is that Kazuya, he's watching that Western on TV and going like "Bakun,
Mm.
Bakun" and pretending to shoot a gun. Kazuya comes
Yep.
in and lets him know, hey, Minami is still studying.
Yep.
So Kazuya
I.
essentially clears the way for him to apologize, and he goes in and he
Yep.
does it. So I think those were some steps that the episode took in the right direction after that happened.
Well. I just think that except for that slap, like everything afterward, it just like it's just my favorite moment of that of could be the whole thing so far. We can see a lot of characters like feeling based on the behavior there. Like right after the slap, Miami, like she skipped the section.
Right.
So we see that Tatsuya was distracting, and then we also know that Kazuya was distracting as well.
Right. And
So
Kazuya
like
asks his brother what happened to Minami, and Tatsuya says, "How
Yep.
should I know?"
Yep. And then afterward, Kazuya heard about that Tatsuya slapped Minami, but I feel that he was a bit angry with that, but he was calm, so that's why he's like in the cowboy thing, he shot Tatsuya in the back,
Right.
and Tatsuya kind of realized that as well. So like the whole chemistry between these three, I really like so distinctive.
Yeah, I agree.
And we can see like how much Kazuya feel his feeling for Minami as well, by the fact that he knows something wrong, and when Minami came to the practice, he actually stopped,
Yeah.
just staring at her. Oh man. And then we have like the very great moment of Tatsuya coming to that house to say apologies to Minami, and Punch about to hit him, and he's just like shh, and Pun did the same thing. Oh my god!
Yeah. Punch is a legend. Him tricking
Right.
Tatsuya into not taking an umbrella on the day that he was late to be the class scribe.
Yeah.
That was great because he
I
he provides an accurate forecast for
Yep.
Kazuya and Minami when he goes,
Yep.
"Ow!" But when Tatsuya asks him, "Is it going to rain?" he just goes, "Hmm." like a human sound, like, "Oh no, it's not going to rain." Hmm.
Yep. And the fact that it just Tatsuya and Minami know about Punch, like they I think they separately know about Punch ability to predict the weather. I think that is some nice touch as well.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah, that's true. Both of them have that knowledge, and they both have the same instinct to ask a dog.
Yeah.
It's kind of I think Tatsuya and Minami both have a little bit
Yep.
more of a playful spirit that kind of puts them on the
Yep.
same wavelength. And Kazuya is a little bit more serious.
Yep.
And I think the
Yep.
reason that
Agreed.
Kazuya is more serious is because he sees that as the path to winning Minami's affection, because she wants to go to the
Yep.
Koshien, and Kazuya sees that as his ticket
Yep.
to be with her.
Yep.
So it's kind of tragic that it's not as though he's not suited for Minami. It's that he has gotten it into his head that the way to be with her is to be the sort of person that she actually is not drawn to. And he says that at a certain point in one of these 5 episodes. Which episode
I
was
want
it?
to bring that up as well. I think he says something along that line. If you being too nice to a girl, it's not really good.
Yeah, something.
Or something along that
It's
line.
phrased a little differently than that, because like the nice guys finish last message is,
Yep.
kind of a little bit
Yep.
hokey. I mean, we are talking about 1985 here, but I think what he says is like, it's not always good to be in an easygoing relationship with the girl you like. Like there needs to be a little bit of tension.
Yep.
And Tachan
Oh.
having kind of a contrary personality supplies that, and Minami is into
Yep.
that. And unfortunately for Kazuya, he, whether it be genetic or environmental or of his own volition, he doesn't have that.
I think his exact word is in the good terms. Omoi, if you're Omoi in the good term with the girls you like, it's not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tatsuya just proved that by slapping the girl his life and making that girl cry. But in the end, it also sold out. I think because he plugged it out, his true feeling.
That's true. I mean, I did find that moment, like at the very end of his apology, like I was upset that you figured me out, that he was
Yep,
jealous. I found that to be a little bit too on the nose.
yep, yep.
I
It
feel like the
does.
show could have kept that under wraps and just had us understand that watching the show, rather than Tatsuya needing to say it. But
Well,
I do think that episode was very good on the whole, so I can forgive it
yep.
for doing that.
I actually think that like he's the mangaka is a master of doing this kind of thing of like just hinting, not saying anything.
Yeah.
So it actually like the moment where he actually say something, he actually plug it out. Is I think this is the moment that worth noticing
Yeah.
because I think it's kind of like confirming from Minami that like that's who you have a feeling for her.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it wasn't that moment wasn't designed for the audience so much as it was for Minami,
Yep, yep,
because this may be her first inkling that Tatsuya
yep,
really likes her. I mean, I'm
yep.
sure that at some point in her life she's gotten that same sensation since they live next door and everything. But this is our first time seeing that happen.
That's right.
So that would be important.
And
Yeah.
somewhere in between the relationship, we have like an episode dedicated to Kotaro.
Right. He gets a girlfriend.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, good for him. That was my least favorite episode of the five.
I agree, but still it's nice that he got a girl. I like girl as well. Like I actually feel that like all these girls in this show so far, they all have like a really distinctive personality. Like they really likable in a way that like they not try to be cute, but they like just speak their mind and like just so great to watch them.
Yeah, they do speak their mind. That's true. Girls in Adachi series, especially cross game, are opinionated, and they will
Mm.
say what they're thinking,
Yep.
instead of just keeping it inside. And that's kind of ironic because does he does write a lot of characters who are not emotionally open, but at the same
Yep.
time are they're straightforward with like their more superficial feelings, I guess.
Yep.
Like if
Yep.
they're
Yep. Yep.
pissed, they will make that
Yep.
clear.
Yep.
But if they're hurt, they will keep that inside forever.
That's right. That's right.
And there's an important distinction that's being made there at pretty much every moment in this series, I think, because you can tell what's important to the characters and what's important to the show based on what is said versus what is unsaid.
And I love the fact that like um nah, it's not really that important, but I just think that like like some of the girls like almost all of the girls in touch, they can really tell apart between Tatsuya and Kazuya. And I just like that, like at first glance they know exactly who Tatsuya or who Kazuya is.
Well, in episode 13, there is a plot about Kotaro's new girlfriend, like
Yep.
mistaking Tatsuya for
And
Kazuya while he's buying a dirty magazine.
that's right, but like afterwards she made that clear that now she knows,
Right. Well, it's when she sees Kazuya, the real
Yep.
Kazuya, and she's like, "Oh,
Yep.
whoops, I goofed." Because when you see Kazuya, you're hit with his aura, I guess.
Yeah.
His athleticism and his cool and quiet demeanor.
Yeah. Yep. Like even to Kazuya previous crush. Remember the girl from I think from the gym
Yeah, the
in
rhythm
the
gymnast, the little redheaded
yep,
girl.
yeah, that's right. She also can easily tell these two apart. Even though that Tatsuya like camouflage his change his hairstyle and doing thing, and she just run behind her and said,
Oh, that's
"Oh,
right.
where is Kazuya?"
That's right.
Uh, I, 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 I would love to see her back. I don't know if she ever be back, but
There's going to be another character who sort of follows her template introduced later.
Right. Right.
But who will be more significant to the story.
Okay.
But that's pretty far down the line, I think.
All right. Alrighty. I'm waiting. Like I want to watch this more often.
Well, now that we've got new plans for the podcast, and
Yep.
we also do special episodes for this half of the podcast where we don't watch Touch, we will probably get to see this character that I'm talking about by the year 2024.
No, I don't like that.
I don't know what we're going to do about Touch. We may be watching it for years at this rate. Maybe we'll put it on fast forward or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we will figure that out. Or we could do that 2 hours podcast. I don't really mind. As long as it's Touch. We watch.
Right. It's a good show.
Yeah,
and there's plenty of other good, like, fun moments, noteworthy scenes from these episodes. But I don't know if we need to go over every single one. I will say that the scene where Minami puts like 10 alarm clocks around Tatsuya's head, so he will get up on time for his duties, was really funny. That just cracked me up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about when I say she's like kind of playful, in the same way that he is.
And
that she does stuff like that.
She does stuff like that, and she knows exactly that would wake him up. You know?
She has a good sense of his personality.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't think we know at the time, but we soon find out later on that they are on duty together. So that's why she go all the trouble to wake it up.
Right. But in that same episode, that's when the Best Couple award is presented to Minami and Kazuya, and that's what causes a bunch of the tension in that episode and the follow up.
And Kazuya, he was really thinking that it was him too, who is rewarded with her.
You mean Tatsuya was thinking that?
Tatsuya, sorry, Tatsuya.
Yeah, he gets up in front of the class and like starts to make a little speech or something.
Yeah,
and then everyone's like, "Just sit down." There's no way.
Oh my god, that's so.
Poor Tatsuya.
Yeah, I know.
Well, but he's part of the boxing club now, and he's gonna. I think Kazuya makes a comment to him that like he's firming up. Like he's putting on a little bit of muscle.
Yep, and then he beat a guy now.
Yeah, that was
a winning record now.
That was entirely unrealistic. He's getting absolutely pulverized. Pictures some scenes of Kazuya and Minami in his head, and he's like, he finds the super ultra move deep inside him, knocks the guy out in one punch. That that didn't make a lot of sense.
Well, the animation wise, the punches doesn't really make much impact. Right?
Yeah, but the sound effects though, they're like whip sounds. It's good enough for me.
True. Alrighty. I still think that Harada is best pro for me.
I mean, I think Minami is both best bro and best gal.
Yeah,
she's just the best.
True. Except for what was she written in her diary. I don't know why the diary had to be that much important.
You said that you thought it was going to recur, like that it's going to come back. I sincerely
it recurred once. Yeah, it recurred once.
Wait, it did, or it will?
Yeah, no, it did. It did in one of the scenes where she wrote down that
Kazuya's first win.
Yep, true.
Yeah. Oh, but that didn't have anything to do with what she wrote about Tatsuya.
Nope, but she wrote something on her diary, so I think it come back soon.
Oh, I didn't even think about that appearance would like play into the diary arc Uh-oh.
Right.
I still don't think that that's gonna be a thing.
All right. For me, I think the diary would serve as a way for Tatsuya in the future, knowing about how Minami having a crush on him all along, and not like from the shadow of Kazuya.
Nah, that would be so lame.
That would be so lame, true. Well, is there any other way that Tatsuya know? I don't think that Minami gonna say, like allow or something that she having a feeling for Tatsuya. Or we have like the cross game ending. I just love how, like how they confess the love in cross game.
Yeah, I don't even remember very well.
The
Is it okay if
pitching,
I lie? Was that the line in cross game?
Yeah. I think that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, and
Aoba says she's only interested in guys who can throw like 100 miles an hour or
yeah, that's
160
right.
kilometers
One.
per hour, and then there's that scene where it's implied that he breaks that barrier, but you don't see it. God, what a great show that is, man.
Yeah, no. All right.
Yeah, I got to rewatch that after
Yep.
I don't want to do it in the middle of Touch, but someday got to rewatch it.
Right. All right. So the next podcast we're gonna do the season review of
Summer 2021.
Yeah, of summer 2021.
And we have to, since Aquatope I've kicked out of my watch list, we got to figure out
Yep.
if we want to put another show in there. We have some options for that. We've got
Helm.
what's that?
Helm, I think.
Oh,
What's
Ida Tentachi. Yeah,
Yep.
there's that. There's Fena Pirate Princess. I've been enjoying that. I don't know if you care to watch that.
I've been enjoying that as well.
Oh, you've been watching
there's a
that?
lot of stuff. I've been watching that.
Okay.
The first 3 episodes, I will catch up on that.
There's that. There's also the new series, Heike Monogatari. The
No. We leave it for the 4th season for that one.
Well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me, and I'm totally fine with that. But it is true that by the time we do the next podcast, I think 3 episodes of it will be out.
Yep.
Something like that.
No, I rather let it wait. And put some more spotlight on the the summer season. So I'm pretty alright with Helm Seda Idaten Tachi. Oh my god, and I'm okay with the other one as well.
Or we could do either, or we could just be quick about it and do both. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we figured it out.
I guess that's it for this week.
All right, so this is gonna be a short one because someone cut short.
Yeah, someone cut a film short, 50
Yep.
minutes short. But he saved himself some suffering in the process, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, true. Alrighty, so see you in the next 2 weeks.
See you then.